Move fast.
Yeah,
Be
move
focused.
fast, be bold, right? Focus on impact. But I think, I think long-term focus is a really important part of this. Right? And we've had a lot of opportunities to optimize for the shorter term, whether it's in selling the company or in doing different products that would have benefited us in the short term, but not optimized for the long-term impact. And I just think, opportunities like this don't come around that often. So when you get one, I feel like you almost have a duty to see it through and build it to be what it can be.
Often I think people ask, what mistakes should you avoid making? And my answer to that question is don't even bother trying to avoid mistakes because you're going to make tons of mistakes, right? And the important thing is actually learning quickly from whatever mistakes you make and not giving up, right? And I mean, there are things every single year of Facebook's existence that could have killed us or made it so that it just seemed like moving forward and making a lot of progress just seemed intractable, but you just kind of bounce back and you learn, and nothing is impossible. You just have to kind of keep running through the walls.
If you were to name one thing that was the game changer for you that you did differently, what would that be?
So I think when you're an entrepreneur, I think one of the most important things is just staying focused on learning as much as you can, right? Because you never know as much as you need to in the beginning, no matter what, right? I mean, this was especially true for me. I mean, I started, I was 19, right? I was a college student. I didn't know anything about business. I'd never built an engineering system at large scale. There was all the stuff that I didn't know. So the only way that we were going to succeed was if I focused not on what I thought I knew, but on just making sure that I learned everything else as quickly as possible. And the secret here is that learning is a process where you try things and you fail. And I think a lot of times people ask questions like, what's the biggest mistake that you made and how can you avoid that? And I actually don't think that's the point, right? You shouldn't be afraid of failure. You should fail and learn from it and just make sure that you're doing what you can to learn as quickly as possible. And I do think that that's why Facebook has been able to evolve so much, right? It started off as a service for college students that was basically just profiles, that was mostly text, didn't have news feed, right? That came a couple years in. Now there's news feed. It's made this transition from text to photos, now to being more and more videos. It's made the transition from colleges to everyone around the world. It's made the transition from PC to mobile. And you only do that if you're really focused on learning, right? And I think a lot of times people think that these things are a straight line, but the best entrepreneurs and the best organizations that I've seen are just like obsessively focused on learning as much as they can every day. And I think you guys know this. I mean, you're as engineers and entrepreneurs and developers, you don't have the success that you're having without making mistakes along the way and without rebounding from them. And that takes a certain persistence and mindset that you're going to get it done. And that's what I see here. But I think if you just stay focused on that, you succeed.
Great.
So I think if you want to build something great, you should focus on what the changes that you want to make in the world. Right, that to me is number one. But I see too many entrepreneurs who decide that they want to start a company before they actually know what it is that they want to build. And to me, that just seems backwards, right? Building companies, you're going to change a lot. And you're going to need to learn a lot along the way. So it really makes sense to go in with an idea of what the impact is that you're going to want to do. Not that you want to have a bunch of people working for you or want to start a company or something like that. The second is that no one does it alone, right? So you need to get the best. You need to build the best team that you can. I think that there's this myth in the world that of kind of the founder, right? The individual. A lot of people, they talk about me and Facebook, and it drives me a little crazy because I think that understates that this is a big team effort, right? I mean, we have a lot of people working on Facebook now, thousands, And even at the beginning, there were a bunch of people who were working on it. And when you look at most big things that get done in the world, they're not done by one person. So, you're going to need to build a team. And so you go in with the idea of what you want to do in the world. And the next most important thing that you're going to do is just surround yourself with the best people that you can to learn from. Because you're going to need to learn over time, and you're going to need people who have complementary skills, because you're not, no matter how talented you are, there are just going to be things that you don't bring to the table. I mean, that's certainly true for me. Our company works because we have a really talented core team of people who complement me, who have different skills that I don't have. And then the third thing that I would say is just persistence. Right? So nothing ever goes the way you want it to. Right? People talk about overnight success, and that's not the way it works. Right? Overnight success happens after you work for a long period of time to build something. Then one day you wake up and people are like, oh, this is successful. It just appeared. And that's never how you experience it when you're actually working on it. And so when you're building something, you're just going through all these trials and tribulations along the way. And I think a lot of people give up, right? And that takes different forms, right? You don't push through to see through what you believe. Some people sell their company before it reaches its full potential. Some people change the direction. Some people leave. But I think that the biggest things that have gotten done in the world tend to be done by people who primarily believe in a mission and are not trying to build a company, first and foremost. By teams, not by individuals, and by people who just don't give up.